I'm loving it. Do you know what? It's the first time I've seen that intro there, and I've got to give thanks to a lady called All Saint, to a chap called Anthony, and that was wonderful. But that shows you how far we've gone, and the people that we meet, and that is only a touch of that. People that we meet and greet, and that we've met through the years. We've done the decade plus. We've done the decade plus, and that's about lifestyle. And you know, you guys, you did so well. You did so. Anthony Jordan. No, come in here right now, mate. I got a bow to you. Come in here right now.
Hello.
Blessings.
Good day.
Anthony, you are something yourself. I mean, my gosh, Anthony, you put this through like nothing within what, a day?
We'll keep it there. We'll keep it there for how long it took. But you know what? We thought we'd keep it for the element of surprise. The lifestyle show is forever progressing, keep on moving. So we just highlighted the things that we've done. And it will.
Listen, mate, they don't call you the Dark Persuader for nothing.
We do what we do. We do what we do.
Well, as you're here, stay with me then. Stay with me.
By all means, by all means.
And let's talk. We're going to be doing everything a bit later on. We're talking about Dalgety tea competition and the books still going on. We've even got more books to talk to you about, and that is the Hansard Publications. And we've got loads of things to say. But I want to talk about, you know me already, the American election. So I say, where's my American flag? My God. You know, oh my gosh.
I'll get a flag for you shortly that we can flash up. But you know what? I have to be honest. In the history of me watching any form of politics, I have never gone to bed, woken up, gone to bed, woken up. 214. What was it? 214-253. 214-253. And I had a small errand to do. Off to the supermarket. Come back in, and I'm seeing Joe 290. I know. There we go.
I mean, honestly, we just had it there. Every single room where we've got a TV in or radio, we just had it on to hear this and hear that and hear this. And I said, he's got to win. He's got to win, because if there's any justice in the world, and I'm going to say more than that, there is a God. I'm sorry, I have to say it. There is a God. Because this man...
It's like certain people, there are votes that are not legal. But apart from that, no, justice has prevailed. The right man is in there as far as... Yeah.
And my man's playing golf this morning.
Who? Trump?
Of course. What's him up?
Well, you listen.
He's trying to anchor down.
What can I say? He's P45 is on the route, so you know do what you can with your free time.
They call it the red slip.
Yes, in America. I mean, you know what? It's a change. It's a change. It's something that the world has. Well, the world has spoken. Let's be honest. No matter which way people will say what have you, this was record amount of votes that's come in. Now, if you agree with Biden or not, I think people have really shown how much they disagree with the former administration, and I think that's volume.
And let us never, any one of us, forget one person in particular that we could be seeing something here. Kamala Harris.
Indeed. And you know what I love about this as well is the feedback. Excuse me, the feedback that has come out from everyone, and this is globally, you know, I'm on the socials, I'm seeing stuff. They are loving the fact that this is our new VP, you know, the world is all over it. So honestly, great stuff.
She's made history to become the first woman VP, but I'm going to tell you something, she's going to make more than history. Watch this space with Kamala Harris.
Listen, that's what I'm down for. Let's just keep watching this space, and I'm all over it. You know, what is to come is to come. It's going to be great stuff.
Yeah, and you've got a bumper packed entertainment corner.
We do indeed. You know what? We do. I was just about to throw up the logo, but no, we don't need it just yet. All I will say is we have a bit of an international flavor. We have a bit of a UK flavor. It's a great mix. Few music videos in there as well. It's going to be a good one, guys. So keep your eyes peeled for the entertainment corner later on. I promise to do my best to keep you entertained.
You always do your best, and that's why you are Dark Persuader. And let's not forget, we've got the competitions coming on later on, Dark ATTs, and we've also got books. Right,
so the logo is up. The logo is up. If this is your first time watching, it's unfortunate, but you know what? Welcome to the team. But the logo is up. That means the minute you have seen that logo, keep your ears open, because anything that happens from the minute that logo has been shown till the end of the show is a chance for you to win a prize, that fantastic Dalgety Teas hamper. So keep your eyes open, people. Keep your ears open. We will ask anything and everything. There are loads of prizes to be won on the Lifestyle Show.
Nice one, Anthony. I salute you and thank you ever so much for that promo. Brilliant.
More than welcome.
In bucks, mate. Bucks. Everyone watching, you want a guy that can design something? Anthony Jordan. That's the person to call. All right, here we go. We're going to talk about America. We're going to talk about America elects, and they have elected. Let's get Beresford Mac all the way from Atlanta. Beresford Mac, are you with me, Squire? Beresford? Are you there? Beresford Mac, are you with me? Or are you still drinking champagne? Where's he at? No, oh, he's not there yet. Okay, we're trying to get, I think we lost the link with him. We're going to get him on because he's going to talk to us about everything American style. As you know, Beresford Mac, formerly senior reporter at Choice FM Radio, and then obviously changed direction. He's gone into promoting, but still keeping there with his journalistic thing. You can't lose the journalism, you can't, and you can't lose the nose either. So he said, yeah, I'm going to come on, I'm going to talk to you guys what's been happening here and how people are reacting with this news. Everybody was in bated breath. He spoke to me last night and he said that, you know, America wasn't sleeping. Nobody slept. They needed to know. They didn't want to wake up to hear any other news. They wanted to know one news. Who is president-elect? And this is what they did. So hopefully we're going to get Beresford to join us here. Maybe we can hear this and a bit later on. All right. So we're going to go with the flow. We're going to do it like this as we do it. Second lockdown in the UK. It's a second lockdown. Not as harsh, admittedly, as before. Not as harsh, but it's still a lockdown. So we're going to go with this. We're going to be talking to an eagle just now, and I believe he's with us now. Odua Matthew. Hi there. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. And you?
Good. Lovely to. I'm good. I'm so joyous because I don't live in the States and I'm not American, but I'm just still feeling good. Glenda Clark of London Elite Caribbean Tours and Events, and we're talking to her about COVID matters in the Caribbean, and she's just flown over to us to the UK and has had an experience flying over to us in the UK. So Glenda Clark, are you with me? Have we got Glenda Clark? All right, wait for a bit of that. Tyrone Roach.
Yes,
here we are. Where we got Glenda Clark is joining us here. As I said, London Elite Caribbean Tours and Events. I'm going to give us a lowdown on what's happening in the Caribbean, as you know it, and also in your experiences coming over here. We've also got, and we should have, Tyrone Roach, UK editor of the UK branch of Barbados Nation newspaper. Tyrone, are you with us? Can we get Tyrone in? All right, Tyrone is joining us soon, not connected yet. Listen, let's talk. First of all, I have to go straight to Odiwa. Am I saying that right, Odiwa?
It's easier, just say Odia.
Odia.
Good, yeah.
And you can call me Miss Joseph. Not really. Anyway, Odia, talk to me about this second lockdown. We've even seen reports that several businesses are refusing this time round to lock up their shops. Is there, and we've been told there is a legal angle, there is a legal loophole that business owners can use? Talk to me.
Well, it's really difficult to really, look at it in that way, because obviously, you know, this is a law that has been passed by the parliament, and although it has come with a lot of mixed bag, you know, lot of mixed messaging, you know, people confused with the way the message has been, you know, communicated to businesses. Obviously, businesses are struggling, you know, under this lockdown, especially small and medium-scale businesses. They was hit by this lockdown. So before a company can be able to challenge that law, it is a very high threshold. It's a very high threshold, because once it's already made law, there's no way you'll be able to. You must have a very, you know, high ground to be able to establish that, yeah, your business is highly affected. You are not at risk to the public, which may be difficult for you to prove, because you need to prove all that. One, because this is a public health concern, you need to be able to show that, oh, you are not at risk by opening your business, and people will not be missing, you know, when they come to your facility, you know, because if your facility is open and people are missing there, you are already putting people's life at risk. So that's why it's a very high threshold for people to be able to, you know, challenge. I'm not saying there's no grounds to challenge it, but you must have the genuine grounds.
Yeah, I mean, you say it's law. A lot of people are saying that they're giving us guidance and instruction and advice. It's not law. They haven't legislated it. So I don't understand that. What is it really? If they're just giving us government guidance is to behave like this and to do this, but you haven't legislated it. So I don't understand when you say it is law. Where is it that it says it's law?
Well, by my understanding, the law was placed before the parliament, and the parliament has actually discussed and they voted on it. So once it was voted upon, it now becomes law, and that's why government also gave guidance just to assist people to be able to understand what they can do and what they can't do. You know, so I don't know why you think it's not been made law yet.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of businesses are saying that it's not law. It's just about a guidance. It's just about instructions, and let's all follow this, you know, to keep the country safe and to save lives. But it's not actual law. It hasn't been made legal in the sense. Okay, you're the legal eagle, so I'm going with you on this one. So it is. You're saying that. All right, then. So hopefully we might even get some people responding to that. If they think that, you know, it isn't so, there's not a legislation that has been passed very quickly. Did the white paper go through so quickly, you know, that it's passed? I mean, I didn't, to be honest with you, I didn't hear it, you know, so, but I don't know. I'm leaving it like that, but you're the legal eagle. We'll leave it like that for a moment. So is there any loophole still? It was saying that it is legal. Then has anyone got with a business that they've got that they do not believe that by still keeping their doors open that they are a threat to public, or what have you? What can people look at in their business? How can they change it around, adapt? Can we still do that? Can they still do that?
Well, I think this will still be very, very, the loophole will be very tough to find. Very tough, because under public health law, once the government makes a law about policies that has to do with public health, you know, it takes priority over a lot of things. Yeah, and because if you look at it, even our other rights are being they're being merged in, you know, they've been reduced because of the fact that public health, you know, stands tall above all other issues. So that's why it is very difficult, because since the restriction came in on 5th of November, everyone around the country nationally are supposed to obey that law. That restriction is law. So there's no, there will be, it will be, I'm happy to see people challenging it, but it's still a very tall order.
It's not gonna work. Basically, it's not gonna work. They can challenge all they want. You're saying it's not gonna work.
Well,
okay.
You know, in law, there's always two sides. So there's nothing wrong in one challenging, but like I said, you have to be able to satisfy the ground for you to bring that challenge.
Is he being a bit dictatorship? Is he using his power to do things that, you know, really and truly in another sort of realm, if you will, he'll never been able to do this? He's using the pandemic to get things through, to control?
Well, I wouldn't say it that way, you know. I don't see it that way, because obviously, you know, every government has got the concern of the citizens at heart, and they have that duty to protect us all, you know, from you know, risk of infection. So any rule or restriction that they can bring in, especially if you look at it, we are all in an uncharted territory. No one has actually said, oh, we've gone through this before, or there's a precedent, you know, aside from those you know, the ones that happened a very long time ago. I don't think it was as bad as this, you know. So if you look at it, the government still have a duty, and that duty is to maintain public confidence in the law and in the way the law is made.
I'm going to now bring in my guest here, because on that point, they have a duty to do it right. Now, Glenda Clark just flew in. Glenda, come in now with me. You flew in, and what day, into what airport, and tell me about your treatment.
Hi, everybody. Yes, I flew in on Wednesday. The flights were changed on Virgin from Gatwick to Heathrow. So that, I think that's their new protocol with Virgin Atlantic flights. And it was quite a smooth transition. I've been in Barbados since March, so I was kind of expecting a lot more rigid checks and everything, which wasn't as rigid as I expected, because we've really been following the routes and the guidelines in Barbados. And I found that, of course, we're on the flights had possibly a third less people. We were spaced about on the seats. The middle seats, we had 2 seats between us, and if you were on a 3-seater, you only had 1 person in a seat. And then we were all given individual packages with extra. You were all told you had to wear your mask, and actually you were told at the desk you had to bring 2 masks, which I felt was a bit late to tell you then, because if you didn't have 2, but you know, so luckily I had 2 anyway. But on the flight, they gave you a pack that contained 3 of the disposable masks and sterilizing wipes and everything. So I thought that was good of Virgin Atlantic, and your meals were of course basic. I was just expecting to land. We of course have to fill in our online registration form by the government. And I'd fill in my mandatory 14-day self-isolation, which I thought was the case. And as I got to immigration, they said to me, oh, you filled in 14 days. I said, yes. And they said, well, actually, coming in from Barbados, they rechecked the list in front of me and said, no, you're on a very low risk. You can actually go out as you will straight away. So I thought that was really interesting. And I kind of find, I've traveled to St. Lucia in between that period. I did 5 days in St. Lucia in September, and I found there was more track and trace in St. Lucia as you landed, where you're staying. You were questioned, although it was already filled in the form, you were, questioned yourself on your visit, and they would call you or speak to you, while you're away. But I found that's not, I kind of find that they just let you have the form, fill in the form, and then just let you through, and seem to be quite loose. Also, having traveled, having been in Barbados for those months and then coming here, I found that the first 3 days was very interesting because in Barbados, and I found this in St. Lucia as well, you walk into a store, automatically, of course, everybody has to have a mask, but you're all given a temperature check, even now. Yeah, you might, and if your temperature is over a certain temperature, they won't let you in the store. Of course, they may say it's due to the heat. They're very polite and very sensible, and they ask you to just wait for a few more minutes and whatever, maybe come back in 10, 20, 50 minutes and see the temperature's gone down, but they won't let you in the store. And they have somebody standing by to sanitize you. I know it's extra manpower, possibly, you know, probably a bit of expense for them, but they have that so that you're touching goods maybe when you come in, and that is, then we just all used to that. So to come into, I don't know, certain stores here, all the stores here since I came in, and you could just have your mask and you just walk straight through. I found that was
yeah. So your opinion of the way we're dealing with it, although Ottawa says that, you know, the government is treating us right, the government is dealing with our health, and the government is doing this because of our health, but you've just come in a couple of days ago and you feel as if, what the hell, what's going on? They're not treating people right, because you've just come in from a packed plane. You've gone from the airport to a plane, then to the airport here. Whether you travelled by tube or thing, whatever happens, and you're told you're all right. You know,
yes.
you could have had COVID. Somebody could have had COVID on the plane.
I know, exactly, yeah, exactly. They could have had COVID on the plane, but I was still told, coming from a low-risk country, I could go straight out and about, and I didn't have to. He actually insisted that I should possibly redo my form on arrival. Anyway, so that's it. The other thing as well I will mention is, because you can't take pictures or photos at the airport, but at the airport, there wasn't...
Sorry, you can't use your phone to say, what airport?
Take photos at the airport. But I found the airport was quite busy and packed, and I didn't see the real the safe distances. Some people automatically did it between each other, but some of us were quite close, queuing up. The airport was packed, and it was in Terminal 2, and I didn't see that safe distancing really pushed and put into place. So yeah, so as I said, yeah, getting through and going through the streets of London, I am a bit pleasantly surprised to just be able to walk into anywhere. But so I think the government, in my humble opinion, just hadn't put things in place quick enough. Now they're doing the rules quite strictly to a certain degree, but I think it should have been done sooner. And I think they should really, you know, insist people, you know, follow them. I just feel bad, I think, coming from a low-risk country, that everybody's quite fearful of the fact that you travelled in, and then there's the COVID, but the COVID is here, I don't know, 1,000 times more than where I've come from. So I think I should be the one worried, not anybody else. I mean, they should be worried about me. That's
true, you know. That's absolutely true. I know. I think we're rather arrogant in this country, and certainly our government is. They're very quick to put countries on the list of, you know, you're not a good risk country. You have to, anyone coming from your country, and we're the worst ones. I know Germany has just recently put us on their red list, and I think France, is it France or Spain? Oswald has put us on the red list. Yeah, we've been marked down. Of course, look at our little island and how
we shouldn't. Well, one of the French islands of Martinique has got quite a high case. I can't remember their population, but they've got 4,000, almost 200 cases in Martinique. So I suppose that's why with France they are quite particular about, you know, their numbers. But you're right. I've heard that in the States, those coming from Barbados have also been put at a high risk, or they've been cautioned coming in, but they shouldn't, because we've got a very low case. I mean, as you know, with the numbers, I mean, St. Lucia has done really great so far.
Yes.
I'm not too sure. I can't remember what the...
It's building up now, 79 cases.
Yes. That's fairly recent, because they've been very low up until now. And with Barbados, we only had a total of approximately 239 cases, and 7 passed away in the very early stages, and within the first month, and no one's passed away since then. So it's very sad that has happened, and 224 have recovered out of the 239. So I also think, and I say this to a number of people, considering the facilities that I feel we don't have are as, you know, great as the States and UK. I do think the islands, all the islands, have done pretty well. People have recovered. People are recovering.
It's been a great success story when you talk about Caribbean. We know that there's a few, Trinidad and Jamaica, things like that, that's just gone a bit, but we don't know what that's coming from. Is it not the islanders, but it's the tourism, or it's the tourists coming in? I don't know.
Sometimes that is, because one thing I have found, I felt that's what UK and US should have done, is that the track and trace right at the beginning. But I think because of the powers that they are, they felt they could control, or they're well above whatever it should be with the medical profession and with the politicians. I think the politicians got involved too quickly. But I found in Barbados, and I'm sure that's going to be the same, St. Lucia, every time a COVID patient was discovered, they were highlighted in the paper and the media, and it could have been one American that's come off
you brought me onto one thing. I'm going to say this to you guys. I'm sorry, Allsane. I'm doing it in a moment, but Gwenda's giving us a scoop. Craig David of Red Dwarf fame. Is it Craig David? And he his son had COVID.
Yes.
And then they put it in the newspapers in Barbados immediately, and they had to stay in their hotels.
That's right. They had to quarantine. So I think that's amazing. So out of the 3 members or so that travelled, or 4 members that travelled in the family, one had tested positive. So he tested negative probably on the first, because they do 2 tests for you when you land. As you land, so you come in with a negative test, and then they're given a test immediately at the airport, and then they put you into an accommodation that they can always come back. And the Ministry of Health are very, very diligent out there, come and check on you, call you, do the visits, and you'll get a second test. So in one of the tests, it's proved that he came positive. So the whole family had to quarantine, the whole family had to take another test. And within 48 hours, once it came out negative, then they were allowed out. But yes, they publicize it. And I think they'll do it. They might not they publicize it because he's famous, but they won't publicize the names of people who do fly in. So whether you're they will tell you the flight you came in on. They will tell you came in on a BA, Virgin Atlantic, Air Canada flight. They will just give the person was a male at 49 or a female at 29. They'll give the age, but they'll never give the name or reveal the name.
They never give the name, are they?
Yes, and then they quarantine them immediately. So
his name is Craig Charles, Glenn.
Oh, it's Craig Charles. Yes.
And I'm leaving Ozzy out. I know. Very, very likable. Is he
very likable? Yes.
Is he Mancunian or Liverpudlian?
Oh, I can't remember. I think
it's Manchester. It's from Manchester. Somebody help me out here. I know. Also, it's going to quickly tell me where he originates from. I love the way you talk, and I love your legal way, and your mind is very legal. And of course, that's why I had you on the show. You've been very cautious. You've been very cautious. What you've said. You've been very cautious, and I love that. But I do not know, and I'm still thinking that there may be loopholes somewhere. I do.
Well, I'll give you the rule now, so you know the regulations. It's called the Health Protection Coronavirus Restriction, England number 4, Regulations 2020. It came into force on the 5th of November. So that's the regulation. So it's actually law.
Okay, it's law.
Yeah. So in case viewers want to check it out, to see what the rule says and what they should do, what they can't do. That's the regulation. So it's actually there, and they can also visit Public Health England. They will find information about that regulations there. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, and you checked that up and you made sure you was right. Thank you for doing that. Thank you.
Yeah.
and blessed for you to come on and talk to us about that as well. I mean, I know you're putting your head on the blocks. Everyone's trying to fight it. Everyone's saying there must be something we can do. We don't want to lock up our. We've had enough. 6 months. Yeah, we've had enough.
If I may, the truth is that it's not something that anyone will want to do. Like being locked up every time. Trust me, is having serious effect on people's businesses, mental health of young people. Because I was on the radio the other time talking about how it affected young people, during the first lockdown. So you can imagine when you're having it, a back to back, because we don't know if this will be the last. You see, all we know is that this will end on December, but we don't know if it will be the last. You see, so because the more the infection increases, the more the government will I don't know whether it's a knee-jerk reaction or sort of panic, and they have a duty to protect, lives and livelihood. So this is why all these restrictions, regulations have to come in. It's sad that we are all being, locked up in a very difficult circumstance.
I know.
Yeah, because personally, it affects everyone. There's no one I've seen who will say they are happy to be locked up. It's like taking away your liberty, but in a different way. You see what I mean? Yeah. So this is just like a mini version of you not going to prison, per se. So
it's so true.
So this.
It's so true.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
It's so true. It's so true because when the last month or so, when they've allowed international visitors to come in, and they've been told they have to come in with a quarantine approved, they're going to quarantine. When they're told that they can be released, the first thing we see them at a restaurant, and you can tell that they've had this relief that they're coming out into because of course they see the sunshine and the beach from their window or their balcony, and they can't step out because security is so tight. At certain hotels, you're not even allowed to go into the swimming pool. You're not allowed to go to the beach. So you see this beauty of this island and stuff, and you can only watch it from your window. So when they come out and they're going to a restaurant, they go, I've been released. It's like I've been in prison. So yes, doctor, the words that you're saying is correct.
It's so true. It's such a, guys, we got to round this up. Now. So otherwise, I need your details, your social media. You are a legal. Give us your bits, and Glenda, you after Edward.
Okay. My name is Sadiana Matthew. You can follow me on the Twitter on Practical Youth 2014. I'm also on there at Stockpoint 2 because I'm also an author, a youth author. You can follow me on the Instagram. You see me there as Practical Audia, and you can follow our Facebook page of my friend, so Basiki Solicitors. You see us there, and we are happy to help you with any legal issues you have, and just follow us, tweet us, send us an email, Instagram us, and then I'll be there.
Nice one. You'll be there. He's always going to be there. Glenda Clark,
Yes.
Let's go.
Glenda Clark, Mullins Heights, Barbados, rental villas and accommodation in Barbados. So you'll follow us at Mullins Heights, Barbados on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And you'll be able to see us there also on TripAdvisor. And we could ask us any advice you want about going to Barbados. Don't actually have to stay at our place, but we're happy to help you, to give you advice on, tips. And anything.
Pamela Haynes commented to say, you are absolutely right. It's very strict in Barbados. She'd been there and she had to be checked before she went into a supermarket.
Yes.
Please just confirm what you said. Pamela Haynes is watching us now. Thank you, Pam, for doing that. This is what we're talking about. You can hear it all first here on the Lifestyle Show. Love you guys. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Okay.
Great show.
You know what? He's always late. He's always late. I'm going to tell you, this guy's always late. He was even late for work when we was working in the newsroom in Choice FM, and he's late again. I'm going to have a quick liquor break, and then I'm going to show about the Mac, Beresford Mac. It's just so adore that. I really do. Thank you, Anthony, once again. Mr. Mac,
How are that?
always late.
What?
Always late.
I've been sitting in your green room, having a listen to everything that's been going on. It was so great to see Glenda. I haven't seen her.
I know.
I've been sitting here for what, about 10 minutes, 10, 20 minutes now?
Okay, but
Yeah.
you were meant to be first, mate.
You know I'm always on time, Pam. And I'm even rocking my Atlanta hat. I did this on purpose because I feel so great today, you know.
You know what, Beresford?
We showed up, we're doing great.
Beresford, I couldn't sleep. I needed to know before I went to bed who was going to be the premier. I don't live in America. I'm not American. But it's just got me, and it's got so many people in England wanting to know that this guy is out of the bloody White House, and he has, and I've just sworn, but he is. Yes!
Well, we're not quite so sure just yet. He has, okay. He hasn't conceded one, and we can expect the legal challenges coming from tomorrow, which he has indicated he will. So we just have to wait and see what happens. Is it an uphill battle for him with these legal challenges? A lot of the legal experts are saying so. So hopefully, I just saw something on one of the news organizations earlier today saying that his senior advisor, Jared Kushner, has approached him about conceding. So let's see where that goes. But I can't see this guy just conceding like how Hillary did in 2016. So
yeah, but he hasn't really got Beresford a legal stand. He really hasn't. He's got no proof about cheating. He hasn't given us any proof about cheating. The mail votes, the mail.
Well, the thing is, Pam, a lot of the areas where he's complaining about cheating or stealing or fraud may have taken place are areas which are heavily Republican-run states. So you're talking about Pennsylvania. It's a Republican-led council there. So they're the ones that it's Republican-led election officials he's talking about. And that's where the biggest challenge is. It's going to be in Pennsylvania. Their lawyers have descended there. He's talking about Georgia. Georgia, fully well known as a Republican state. It's going to be flipped. I mean, Biden is up by over 10,000 votes here, which the last time Democrats won in the state of Georgia was in 1996. So it shows a lot. And I'm not a legal expert, but based on what the legal minds are saying is that it's going to be tough for him in the courts because you're not complaining about Texas, Ohio, Florida that you won. Yeah. They also had mail-in ballots too. So it's one of the two. Either all mail-in ballots are bad or they're good. You can't have mail-in ballots in one area that's good and one area that's bad. So, you know, it's just a little bit unfortunate that this is where we have come to after general elections. But I guess the thing is, the key thing, as Biden and President-elect Biden and Vice President-elect Harris said yesterday in their speeches, it's all about unifying. And how do we get people to understand that, okay, we have different or differing political views, but at the end of the day, it's the United States of America. We are all human beings. We can differ on views, but we have to live together and move this country forward. It's time for the end for the divisiveness, you know, all the other stuff, the bullying, the name calling, all of that stuff, you know, and we just have to now come together and say, we got to get the country moving.
Yeah. Many people are saying that he's not doing it gracefully. He would at least have a name for himself if he were to just, you know, concede gracefully, just say, well, okay, I've lost, and just do it gracefully. But then that is not this man. That is not Trump.
That's true. That's what a lot of people are saying. What else did you expect? But if he has intentions of running in 2024, which he legally can, and whether that will be a blessing in disguise for the Democrats, because he seems to really galvanize people to come out and vote against him. He can just step aside and say, you know what, let me take the next 4 years and put together a campaign that will really bring out more than 167 million voters to the polls. You got to remember, this is the first time in the history of America that there has been so many people voting. And then secondly, that Biden has gotten, he surpassed Obama in terms of the popular vote.
Yeah.
Over 24 million people voted for him. 70 million voted for Trump. So there's a lot of history being made here. The first female vice president, the first African.
That's my segue into this now, Barrister. I want to talk Kamala. I want to talk Kamala Harris.
Okay, you have your moment.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I'm looking at this, and I go further than anyone. I mean, probably other people have thought of it like this. Look, Biden is good for himself. He's got us there. He's got in, yeah. But I can't see him doing 4 years, let alone two terms. Nah. So who's going to take over automatically? I'm telling you, she's going to be the first woman. She's going to be the first Black woman to be the president of the United States of America.
Well, you know, sometimes, well, not sometimes, they always say speak it into existence. And I think a lot of people are doing that. That was one of the things that Trump had said on the campaign trail, that you can't allow this lady to be, or Senator or Vice President-elect Harris to become the next president of the United States. She has a really strong standing, and it will galvanize, especially female voters, Black, Latina, Asian, whites. They will come out and vote because she has broken barriers, and not just broken barriers. And when you say break barriers, you just don't say move from one side to the next side and that's how the barrier has been broken. You have to break it physically, break stuff, get cut, like she said, you know, bleed at some point, but it's worth it. And I think, you know, Biden will get through the 4 years. Yeah. I mean, he's 78, the best medical team around him, you know, he's going to have the best folks around him. So, you know, he will get through that. Vice President.
I always thought like this, that Obama and, you know, Barack and Michelle have a plan, and they had a plan with the rest of the team as well, that they know damn well he can't make it for 4 years. He couldn't even do the little run. I don't know why they made him run to go to a mic. It just looks silly. No. It really looks silly. You know, he said whoever told him to do that should not have told him to do that. He probably lost votes because of that. Anyway, stop it. You know, you're an aged man, and it's fine because you still got your brain is intact to a certain degree. But a lot of people said he stuttered, he forgot things. Anyway, doesn't matter. They've got in, but he ain't lasting no 4 years, right? And they've already planned it. They're my girl. And they've got to protect her because there's going to be lots of people wanting to thing her down. They better protect her. Yeah. Her security better protect her because she's the next. She's not the next. She is the next president, but she's going to be the first female anti-Black.
Yeah. I think one of the things is that the Democratic Party has got to understand that the reason why they've been able to flip a lot of these states or get them back is because the Black vote showed up and showed out. Okay, the Asian vote showed up and showed out. You have to look at Georgia. The plan was to flip Georgia since 4 years ago, and everyone is crediting Stacey Abrams. She lost in the midterms. She put together an organization called Fair Fight. They had the money behind of them to get out the Black vote, and that's what they did. And although she says she's not the only person who should be credited, there's a huge team. The vision and the mission and the drive and determination behind of this organization to get it where it needed to get the voters out showed a lot. And so that's why now Biden can be leading by over 10,000 votes here in Georgia, which has been a red state all along. For him to flip the other states, Philadelphians showed up, you know, and showed out too. So they know that the Black vote matters when it do need to matter. You know what I'm saying? So I think that they understand that, and obviously, you know, you talk about all the celebrities, you talk about
Lady Gaga.
Well,
coming out for
yeah, and then you talk about these basketball like LeBron James. He's been putting a lot of money into, you know, people getting out the vote. You know, and a lot of other black celebrities from the music and acting worlds have been doing things quietly behind the scene. And so I think that's where Vice President-elect Harris will get that support and the funding to roll out. Because Pam, going back to the elections, Trump was never supposed to, based on the polls, he was supposed to get 20 million votes. But
how wrong were the polls in America?
Yeah, but having worked in this sort of environment in the Caribbean, I understand. It's all what we always say. It's called get out the vote. And that's on the actual day of elections. You have to have it as run as a military position in the sense where you know where your voters are, you get them out early. Whoever needs to get a ride to the polling station, if they need food, you know, if they're mothers who have to go and pick up their kids, but they have to go and vote, you have to provide. So they spent $300 million on the Get Out the Vote campaign on election day, and it paid off. So when the polls were saying, oh, he's going to lose badly, blah, 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 all of that, I never really watched the polls, because what I did look at was, if he's going to lose so badly, why is it he's turning out so many people at these rallies? Where are they coming from? You know, so
that wasn't even staged. People just did come out. People were supporting him. It was genuine supporters.
Yeah. So, you know, yeah, exactly. And he has his base. A lot of people saying he didn't expand his base. Yeah. But what happened is that back in 2016, a lot of people who were his base didn't really vote because they felt, Hillary's got this locked up. It's not going to happen. Now, this time around, when they knew he was struggling, they got out there and voted for him. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think it's a good day in America. The change has come. And you know, it's now for Americans, for all of us to say, okay, fine, we now have to heal, unify, and move forward. And I think that's the message. If he flips Georgia, I think, and we've all lost attention of the Senate vote, because even though Biden has won, the Biden-Harris ticket will form the next administration, we have to look at the Senate. Because he's been a lame duck president for 4 years. It's like what they did to Obama. Everything he brought in, they challenged, you know. So we're having two runoffs here in Georgia, because right now the Senate is deadlocked at 48 apiece. There's going to be a runoff here in Georgia. If the Democrats pick up those 2 seats, they'll be over the 50 member threshold. So they will control the Senate. That's what we need to have. It's all happy to, we're glad that this guy is gone, blah, 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 Biden's won. But the key thing is the Senate.
Yes.
It is the Senate. Otherwise, you know, hey, it'll be hard. What will happen? People will punish them at the midterms. But, you know, is 2 years enough time for Vice President-elect Harris to kind of galvanize enough votes for a presidential election in 2024 she runs? You never know. So we'll see. But I think most people are happy now.
I think most people are happy now. And, you know, to be honest with you, that the way he's going to react right now and how he's reacting right now, even the ones that voted for him, going to look at him and say, well, hold on a minute, you lost fair and square. How are you acting like that? Why are you behaving like that? And he's acting, you know, he's not a gentleman, you know, and, you know, you must be a good loser. You know, stop it. You know, be a good loser, you've lost.
But why is everybody so surprised by this behavior?
For real.
I mean, like, for 4 years, you saw this sort of behavior. So why are you surprised now? It's like, okay, fine. He's been saying this all along since early in the year. It's going to be a fraudulent election. Don't vote by ballots. I'm not going to concede, you know. So
right. Yeah.
It's just his nature to do that. The unfortunate thing is is that, as his niece said, he has too many enablers around him. Someone needs to say, hey, dude, come in. Let me holler at you here in the corner. We got to go. We better pack our stuff up and go. That's what someone needs to say to him. You know,
who's brave enough to say that to him? Huh?
Well, hey, listen, he's got his son-in-law and he's got his daughter. I mean, all these people he sits and talks to on the phone, someone's got to say, yo, bro, man, come on, man. We can't do this stuff no more, man. You know, just let it go. You want to run in 2024, let's go off and fix stuff. A lot of people are saying there's a lot of stuff that can happen. And, you know, it's unfortunate. I don't want to say that, oh, he's going to end up in prison and all of that, because that's not the democratic way in America, that when the president leaves office, you chase him down to lock him up. But we do know, that he does have some legal things that could bother him along the way. You know what I'm saying? But
maybe people have got the strength now, because now that they do believe that we've got Biden here as the president-elect, that maybe now they're going to start talking. Maybe now they're not going to give him that support. Maybe now they're going to say, right, now I've got a chance to talk to you about yourself, and now I've got a chance to walk away from you. And I've seen one guy, I can't remember his name, I'm sure it's Bit something, his name is Bitt. But anyway, he's already come out and said he can't help him. He's one of his advisors. I can't help anymore, and I don't want to help him.
Yeah.
You know what? You just lose gracefully, walk away with your shoulders straight and your head held high.
But we were warned all along. I mean, look at all the people who left his administration and said all of these things, you know, and it was said that he was going to make a speech saying that he had won the elections even before the votes were counted. He denied it, but then on Wednesday he did it. So, you know, it's not going to get any better.
It's not going to get better. And his wife can't tell him what to do, because he tells her what to do. And by the way, they go back looking into that situation there's a lot of dark stories.
But you see, the thing is, Pam, right? This is the thing. At the end of the day, Trump is going to be Trump. He's 74 years old. You can't teach an old dog new tricks, okay? So he's already set in his ways. We just have to let the process, because really and truly, he does have the right to recount. Yeah, he does have the right to legally challenge everything. Yeah, but it's the manner in which he's saying it. I think that's the point. Yeah. So even though he has the right to those things, it's the manner in which you go about doing it. Because Hillary was at 206 and 213, 214, and she conceded. She called him and said, hey, you know what? Well done. Congratulations. And he walked away. Hey.
Something else. That was
you gotta get it.
Journalism cap will always remain on your head, no matter what you do and what have you.
No, listen, I wasn't gonna wear the hat, but I thought, you know what? I gotta show up for Atlanta, my home city. You know, I have to let people know we showed up and we showed out.
You know, I'm still celebrating up to now, right?
In this runoff, I'm telling you, we are gonna get the vote out there. We gotta get excited. We have to.
Good. Okay. All right then, lovely jubblies.
It was great to see you again, and the folks.
I know we're gonna keep in touch. We're gonna have more.
We'll have more conversation. Okay. All right. Nice. Thanks for having me. You have a great evening, and we'll talk soon.
Nice one.
Okay.
Yeah. Well done.
Thanks. Thank you.
Excellent. We've got some ladies coming up. It's going to give us some inspiration. So after this break. really loving that. Thanks. Welcome back to the show, the Lifestyle Show. We have got an array of ladies that's going to give us some inspirational talk. That's going to make me feel good after talking to them. I'm going to start with my lady, Karen Small. Karen, are you with me? Creative coach. Karen Small, are you with me?
Hey. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, and thank you. Look at you. Look at you.
I'm not hearing you so well because there's a lot of interference.
Oh, you're not hearing me good?
Yeah, you sound a bit like a Dalek. Maybe it's that all that
the
US.
Okay, we're trying to improve that as we go along, Karen. But let's try and bring in everyone else. Let's talk to Gillian, Shava. Let's get them on, and I can get them to introduce. Gillian, lovely jubblies. Introduce yourself, Gillian. Tell us who you are.
Hello, hi. My name is Gillian Bolton. I'm a holistic health and nutritional practitioner.
Excellent.
About 7 years now.
Excellent. Thank you. Let's get who gets Shava? Shava.
That's Kava. Greetings,
everyone. Oh, sorry.
Greetings, everyone. That's Kava, and I am the curator, I like to say, of Selfish Heaven and Me Spa. And that's just a place where we allow ourselves to sit ourselves in heaven at once.
Nice one. Thank you. Can we go to, is it Qadira?
Yes, Qadira.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Qadira.
Introduce yourself and what is it that you do?
Yes, I am the producer on Selfish, namely, and I also do work in with things that are related to making productions in Zoom, and hopefully soon I'll be doing returning to vlogging.
Excellent, thank you. Now, who have we got here? Patricia, is it Patricia?
Patrina,
Patrina, love to have you. Explain who you are.
Hi, I'm Patrina. I'm based in London and I'm a wellness expert. I typically help small business owners to eliminate brain fog, be more productive and profitable. And I also encourage people to be comfortable in their own skin.
Brain fog. That's remarkable. Brain fog. I like that. I probably almost going to start, but I have to start with Karen. As the instigator of all of this. Karen, you and me go back a little ways. What have you been doing? How have you been helping people? This is not good. This is our second lockdown. Yeah, talk to me.
I'm still not hearing you properly. I don't
understand.
Oh my gosh. It's a lot of interference.
Do you need to have headphones on? Do you need to have
Let me just check. Hold on one moment.
Okay. All right, while she's doing that, let me get to Gillian quickly. Gillian, okay. This is not good. Mental health-wise,
no,
yeah.
still interference. But
okay. I'm going to Gillian now, then Karen. Then we'll talk to you in a moment. Get yourself sorted. Let me deal with Gillian, and then we talk to Gillian. Listen, the first lockdown, we heard about some tragic news. We heard sad news about certain people taking their own lives because they couldn't take being isolated in their homes. We have learnt lessons through all of this now. This is the second one. So what can you be saying and what are you doing as well? Or what do you want us all to do to help anyone with sort of mental health issues, can't be alone, can't be isolated like this?
Strain of being isolated, and for those who are at home on their own, it's even more strenuous on them because we are social beings. That's who we are. We like to interact, and just having that taken away from us has brought on a more of an issue regarding mental health, the issues that we are facing already before lockdown, because mental health has always been a big issue in our country. So now it's just made it even worse. At the moment, what we're doing as a group, as a collective with Ish, we're getting into people's homes and we're coming together as one to help alleviate some of those stresses, help face the week ahead along, and hopefully we can build a community together. So let's not be alone. Let's join together, join forces, have a space where we can find heaven. And you don't need to go outside to find heaven. You can be right at home and find heaven.
You know, I love the way you speak there. That's lovely. Very soothing words as well. What can we hear of anyone else now? Who wants to jump in? Anyone can do this. Kajira, Patrina, come on, jump in. Who wants to add to that?
I'd like to add to that. I love what Jillian said. Really, it's a testimony of me being in a place of feeling alone and isolated. And, you know, a lot of times you are outside of yourself. Even if you are a helper, you know, you feel like you're helping everyone. And when you look around, you feel like you're isolated and you're alone. But when COVID hit here in the US, then it was like, wait a minute, we have to do something. We have to get on this technology, this big bird, and go into the homes and let people know that, first of all, it's okay to be selfish. It's okay, even though we're social beings, to actually be alone, but not lonely. So what we decided to do was to have a show where we can show people how to take tips, how these expert practitioners can come in and show us how to utilize these tips of breathing and Reiki and energy work and yoga and all of things that make us feel good that we would normally go to a brick and mortar building and have a spa with, but we can do that for ourselves. So it's not about so much pampering, because pampering, you know, someone comes and they do that for you. But what are you doing for yourself? Sit yourself in heaven at once. And sometimes you don't understand that because you don't have the tools. So these expert women, we started in the US, and then we understood that this is a global, this is an international thing. This is just like the pandemic, the COVID is an international global pestilence. Then we have the opportunity by going within self, that safe and secure place, and pulling heaven out of us. And as women first, because we are in our homes as a household, and then we spread that to our families, and then we spread that outside of our families. So we definitely can bring heaven on earth, and we don't have to be lonely, even if we're in our homes by ourselves.
Isolated, even though we're isolated, we don't have to be lonely. Patrina, can you add to that? What is your advice? What can you give us?
Advice is similar to what Shara is saying, that we need to be comfortable by being in our own company, because at the end of the day, you know, we're going to be on our own at certain times anyway. So learn to enjoy yourself, and also maybe find like a hobby that you enjoy doing, and reading a book, or, you know, doing some gardening or cooking. They're all very relaxing in that sense, because now we've got the time and extra time because we're not commuting to work so much or commuting everywhere so much. So there's a lot of me time at home. So make the most of it, because, you know, it won't always be like this. Just enjoy the time, and when the time passes, then, you know, we'll move on back to something else where we may not have this sort of quality time with ourselves again. So take advantage of that.
Yeah, to all of you women, I'm bringing this in, I'm just throwing this in right now to say it's all well and good, and then we say we're going to stay home, we're going to do good, we're going to start knitting, we're going to start doing this. What about the women who are in an abusive situation, trapped inside their home with an abusive partner? Now, what do they do?
I don't think we can hear her.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm hoping that the platform that we're building will gather these women. So maybe they're not able to walk out physically, but maybe they're able to come to a space where they feel comfortable around women, and maybe speak out or express themselves, or find a little piece where they can just relax and be away from their stresses of life.
Well, and one of the things I want
Kadira Mohammed, I'm sorry, I didn't even bring you in the first bit. My apologies. Thank you, Gillian. I'm sorry, I didn't even bring you in at the first beginning, Kadira, so sorry about this. And I've jumped to another thing. Gillian's just given us an excellent thing, what to do, given us advice about that. Can I just jump you into that as well? We are learning to isolate. We are learning to get along with ourselves and, you know, within our minds and things. What if we are not on our own? What if we are in a situation that, you know, is rather abusive?
I think adding on to what Jillian had just said, one of the key things is to realize that we can, in the midst of things that are going on in our lives, that we can find that there's a time where we can make a space for ourselves. But it's difficult when we're in a very suppressive environment to even realize how to do that for ourselves and where we can do that for ourselves, because there's just so much going on. Do you even feel like that you're in a safe space to do so? And I think that's what I think things like Selfish and experiences like that, where you realize that, like, even if you just shift your environment a little bit, even if I make this space like a normal, I'm at a table right now, but what if I set up my table in a certain way where I make, like, in a specific moment, I'm going to make tea for myself. Just being in the present time, in the present moment, and shifting your space to make you feel like you're in control, because you are in control. That can help you also realize, like, you can raise yourself to a higher level in that way. So I think realizing that we have, even if it feels like the external environment is out of control, that there's a space that I can make for myself that puts me into control, and then raising my energy level from there. And then by that point, by us raising our energy, then you realize then things start maybe even coming into our lives and manifesting into our lives that will help us to, because we'll be able to see those ways to get out of that situation.
Yeah. I like the way you talk. Really, really good. You all talk so well. I could have you all in my homes if it wasn't for COVID, and we can have a weekly chats. But you know, Karen, I think, is back. Karen, where's Karen? Started it all. Karen Small, where are you? Are you back with us? Is she back? No, Karen. Oh dear. Tech issues. I've been told it's tech issues. And the horrible thing about this, because we have to kind of round up. Girls, can I ask you a question? Is this something we can try and do on a regular? Can we think about talking on another level and then seeing what we can do, you know, on a regular? And I think we could, because every single one of you is you're putting something different on the table, and I love it, you know. And I think everyone's going to love it, and everyone's going to probably say that we want to hear more from these ladies. All of you, even individually, have a lot more to say, and our time's run out, so we didn't even have Karen. So I want you all just, you know, very quickly give us out your social media contacts. Bang, Gillian.
Okay, so that's at 12-week blood pressure course. That's my Instagram.
Thank you. Let's go with, come on, Patrina.
Yes, mine is flow, FLOW, .page, PAGE /Patrina10. That's spelled PETRINATEN. And you can find me on Facebook as well. Same thing, Patrina10.
Thank you. Shabbat? I keep saying it wrong.
Well, I'll let Kadira give mine since it's the same, but I just wanted to let you know we are doing Him Spa, so that will help if we're going to help the brothers and the men get rid of all that they have that causes them to be abusive. So I would say that, and then I'll let
get rid of some of that attention.
Yes, they need some attention.
Yes,
so
loving that. Yeah. And last but not the least, Kadira.
Yeah, so Heaven and Me Spa, you can go at Heaven and Me Spa on Instagram, facebook.com/Heaven and Me Spa. We're also on TikTok, self_ish Heavenly Spa. And then if you want to contact me personally for any of the Zoom related things or these type of talks, this is the type of stuff I love to do. You can check my Instagram at TwilightGlow19 and my YouTube, which I will be launching, doing a launch on February 2021, and that is Q on a Quest.
Q on a Quest. Like that. Very catchy. Thank you. Karen, look what you've done. We're about to go off and you've just come in now. Karen, you've got to give us a brief. Give us a brief. We're going to talk to you later. Karen, we're going to get you more involved. Karen, just give us a brief now. We've got to go. I'm being told I've got to go. So come on, Karen.
Well, I'm going to watch it back. I know that my sisters have done a good job, and the spa itself was so high energy. Maybe that's the static I was feeling from the communication. But I wanted to remind people that to reach out for help. I'm involved with different community organizations as well as with Selfish as well. And I don't know if they can put it up. T4H, Mind, and L&Q. I'm working with them to do healthy projects, lifestyles, and for people to be able to contact us and have someone to speak to. So I do meditations every Thursday, so you can get that link. It should be available to you every Thursday at 11 o'clock, where we just center ourselves and breathe. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Karen. Karen, you know you have to come back. This is short and sweet. Thank you, ladies. Beautiful ladies. Thank you ever so much. Thank you. We're going to get each and every one of you back on a different level, but we are. Thank you ever so much. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Breathe. Karen says breathe. See you after the break. Look at that. Time. I'm going to do slaps on the knuckles here. The Dark Persuader is going to tell me off. Gone over time. Come on, quickly. Say what you have to say.
Of course, I'm going to tell you. I've got people waiting. Big artists there. Man, they're waiting. Anyway, no, I'm joking. Pam, it's always a pleasure. But right now, yeah, we've got to kick off with the entertainment corner, because that's what we do. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, hi. Welcome to the entertainment corner with me, Anthony Jordan. I played the video a couple of weeks ago, and I did say to you guys that it was so powerful, it had to be played. And right now, it's a pleasure to introduce the man behind such a powerful video, the one, the only Mr. M Arts.
Hello.
M Arts, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Good. Right, so, sorry, you're coming out a bit low. Have you got your headphones by any chance? Sorry, just so we can hear you a bit clearer.
Sorry, bro. Sorry.
No problem. Right. So, do you know what, guys?
Yeah.
Before. Oh, hello.
Right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, got you. Perfect. Yeah, perfect. That's nice and clear.
I can hear you clearly. Yeah.
Wicked. Okay. Right. So, before we kick off into the powerful video that we saw and has got so much positive feedback that we love it, let's talk about M Arts himself. Mm-hmm. Where did the passion come to become the performer that you are today?
I think the passion just started from a personal love of writing and expressing myself and telling stories. Is something I've done for many years. But in terms of sharing it and, performing, that's only something I've been doing in the last 6 years or something like that, So it's just a passion of mine, and it's just turned into poetry and me performing and making videos and stuff and putting myself out there.
Nice. So what gave you that energy to how can I say, make it a professional thing, take it out there to share it with the world?
Well, it's a funny story, right? I was out in Guyana, right? Because I do business out there, right? So I was out in Guyana. So my initial time to spend in Guyana was 3 months. But once I got out there, and this was January, and once I got out there, this whole COVID started, right? So the Droid situation hadn't even taken place, right? So once that happened, I heard about it, the videos was going about, but I didn't watch it because normally these things disturb me. And to me, it was like, here we go again. Another person, another black man has been murdered in the street or whatever. And I just couldn't watch it, right? So I kept hearing, but I was reading about it. And then it started to touch me, and I decided, you know what? I'm going to write about this, but how can I write about it if I haven't watched the video? So once I watched the video, it just started to spew out of me, and you know, George was born.
Perfect. That's what it's about. It's all about having that creative flow, having real life experiences. So in terms of your poetry, as you said, it's been many years you've been doing that. Is that how you normally get your thing, from personal experiences and stuff going on in around the world?
Yeah, personal experiences or stuff that's going on around the world. Or sometimes, you know, I just want to write about, sometimes I don't even know what I'm going to write about. So I might just put on some music. I have no concept. And then whatever comes, it comes, and it will just, you know, manifest into something. You know, in terms of George, once I watched the video and I wrote about it, I said to myself, you know what, I want to record this. All right. So I got a team together. I went to the studio. I recorded it. I had no intention of making a video. Right. And then I kept playing it back to me, and it was quite powerful to me, even though I wrote it, right? So I'm playing this thing back to me, and I'm saying to myself, I need to get the visuals out. If I can make this into a video, I think this can be even more powerful. You know, got another team together, and, you know, it was a lot of, it was hard work in terms of people. This is the Caribbean, remember, right? If you know, if they say 2 o'clock, it actually means 4:30. So in terms of that, it was very, very difficult. But in the end, it came together. And yeah, man, I'm very, very pleased with it.
Love it. So people have heard about George. Those who saw it last week, a couple of weeks ago, loved it. Let's do that. Let's intro that one right now. I'm going to give you the platform to introduce it, and then we'll talk a bit about how it was filmed and how long it took and all of that. So yeah, I'll give you the platform to introduce your video right now.
All right, so this piece coming in now. This is George. This was filmed out in Guyana, and this means a lot to me, you know, just in terms of yet again, another black man has been murdered. So here we go, George.
These words are coming from a place of boiling anger. There's everlasting hurt in me. It's beyond crazy. 400 years weren't enough. Somewhat this last. Arts. This piece is dedicated to George Floyd and every other unarmed innocent black man killed by the police. These words are coming from a place of boiling anger. There's everlasting hurt in me. It's beyond crazy. 400 years weren't enough. Somewhat this shit lasting for eternity. They're unsavory, I promise. They intend to harass, arrest and beat us down. Knowing slavery's abolished, but a system set up to oppress and keep us down. Like we're the people of the damned. Tired, bought a gun and 2 gats, and those bullets were justified that hit those racist cops fired. But from the gun in Tupac's hand, I just watched the scene from Roots. Another black man killed in the street by the Ku Klux Klan. An evil deed done with pleasure, clearly enjoyed. Watching the dog set upon him, gorge his groin. A sin of savageness. He looked just like Kunta Kinte, but his name was George Floyd. And this was Minneapolis, where a public lynching took place in front of the world's eyes. But can you imagine if it wasn't recorded? Official report reported full of told lies. Oh, we know the mud dead fling. I feel strange knowing I have no vocals, but this pain makes me feel I can oddly sing. That officer is 44 now, so he was 14 when his predecessors viciously beat Rodney King. With precision strike aiming, you must have watched that tape for revision-like training. A good student who studied the style of truncheon wailing, one day hoping he do please. Appears he tweaked the technique using a limb as a more sadistic, crueler method, seen as we no longer openly use trees. Where we were naked, taken and hung. Was that hatred in the making from young? Did it manifest over years, increasing behind badge and gun? Was it hereditary, through relation? Like a natural hate for our kind in creation? We want the rest of those racists like him flushed out who hide inside those stations. Most of us know the reason why he was so calm and comfortable killing in front of the nation. Because in that very moment he was simply the overseer killing back on the plantation. Hell's in town, that's hate innit. A choice of gory 6 weapons held him down for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Gave him no pardon, harshly just pressed. That knee has been on our necks before and since the days of Martin, Garvey and X. The colour of my skin makes me to a George with a neck I'm forced to smartly protect. So we increasingly distrust, are sick of these shackles, bondages and handcuffs. History shows they have an insatiable, disgusting appetite for shooting and choking us. Even with facts won't learn they're wrong, clearly intended to keep slaughtering us until blacks turn it on. Expect some torturing when we get our nap turner on. No more darkies whipped, this black ass fight, we're not taking crap. Run your army quick. It's due to be a black ass night when we start taking back on some Mugabe shit. We're rehousing, it's time we face this. Blackouts, our force is mounting. We're out in force, of course we're shouting. We want the force dismounted, or at least force all the racist ones back out to the Caucasus Mountains. Address warmth, take no coins, there's no wishing wells or fountains. Just cave dwellings for corrupt murderous fleas. Your hearts were never worn on sleeves. And from the start we were made to mourn and forced to grieve and exist amongst that evil. Your time's up, we had a whiff. My black people, it's time we rise up like Nazareth. Let them wear their shame as we make sure George Floyd never died in vain. I pray his deceased mother came when she heard his cries for her as he cried in pain. He was dying too soon, only lived half his life. Praise will be said over him by the pastor, right? Until then, mummy, comfort his soul through the transition to the afterlife. Back down here, bricks and stones are being hurled. Daddy changed the world. Those exact words came from your little girl. I'm sure you were watching and heard what she was saying. Your name will forever be used in reference to change. Your death will make a difference, I'm saying. Our people around the world are kneeling for you and praying. And for your soul, I prayed for you too, George. But this last prayer's for the cold. Contend, oh Lord, with those who contend with me. Fight against those who fight against me. Take up shield and buckler, arise to my aid. Brandish spear and javelin against those who pursue me. And say to my soul, I am your salvation. Rest in peace, George Floyd, Tamir Rice, Philando Castile, Rashawn Brooks, Eric Gardner, Breonna Taylor, Sandra Bland, Trayvon Martin, Ahmaud Arbery, Michael Brown, Stephen Clark, Botham Jean, Alton Sterling, Freddie Gray, Tanisha Anderson, Sean Rigg, Kingsley Burrow, Sarah Reed, Christopher Older, Mark Duggan, Edson DeCosta, Smiley Culture, Rashawn Charles, and the list continues.
Today you make me feel like a millionaire.
Why?
For the skill that you perform.
I appreciate that, man.
You sound not like a second class, first class.
I appreciate that.
I feel proud. I feel you bring me a healthy smile. You make me feel like a millionaire, my buddy.
Go on, man.
So I thank God for what the talent that God give you. And I'm going to say a praise to the that I got the talent too. For as we go today, and me and my brethren, let's go before all of us. You cover all of us on your precious blood. Help us to be obedient to one another, giving this spirit in cultivate. Today we bind Satan plans and all the attack. And we bring the subjection. Satan, today have no time to do over God's people. Father, make you very clear for him. Don't make it dark and slippery. Don't make the enemy gloom over him or you that don't fall upon him. Help me to make decisions. Help me to make choices. God, if it's a chance, if you get for asking for anything else, God, I ask you for grant all the rest of talent unto him in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
God bless you. God bless you,
Respect.
brother, man. God bless you, brother. Respect.
Powerful. Honestly,
Thank you, man.
one of the most touching and powerful videos that we have had the honor of playing. So from the whole of Lifestyle, and I'm going to take the liberty of inviting the viewers, thank you. Honestly,
I
thank
appreciate
you
that. Thank you.
putting something out so powerful behind it. Now, let's talk about the concept of the video. How did you come about putting that together?
Well, I had ideas when I was writing it. Once it's finished, I started coming up with ideas. And I've got a guy that I work with. He wrote the treatment for 2 of my videos that I've done a few years ago. He lives out in the States at the moment. So I sent some of my ideas to him and he wrote the treatment for me, man. So, you know, I thought it was important that we try to use, you know, some sort of slave element, be it that we was in Guyana, and it's got a lot of history, you know, surrounding slavery and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah. No, most definitely, most definitely. It really shows that. Now, I mean, let's just talk about the reaction that you got from someone in Guyana there, how powerful it made him feel. What has the feedback been like for you, aside from from us, from having such a video out there?
It's been good feedback. It's been good feedback. I mean, it's the numbers are still quite low, you know, but you know, it's the feedback I've got has been amazing so far, especially in Guyana, you know, because the fact that I'm not Guyanese, I was out there for that period of time. I was out there for like 9 months. I've recorded a track out there, and the fact that I filmed it in Guyana, highlighting some of the, you know, monumental things in Ghana, they love it. You know what I mean? So the reaction has been really good. It's been positive.
Good. I'm loving to hear that. And what I will say for anyone listening or watching, and even to yourself, honestly, it's not about the numbers. It's about getting that word out there. The numbers will come, because the message is something that, as I said, it had to be played in Black History Month on our point. It will just keep rising because people understand what it's about, respect what it's about. And for that, keep it up. And, you know, we need more artists like yourself giving us those that influence, that motivation, and that power. Honestly, so M-Arts, keep it up. Most definitely, we will definitely have more from you in the future. Anything you've got, let's keep in contact. Let's keep it going.
Definitely, man.
No, it's honestly a pleasure. For anyone who wants to hear more, get in contact with yourself. Do you have any socials out there that you'd like to put forward?
Yeah, I'm on M-Arts on Instagram, Twitter as in Marts Poetry, Facebook, same thing, M-Arts. So. Yeah, Instagram M-Arts, Twitter Marts Poetry, and Facebook M-Arts as well.
Perfect. That is great stuff. So no, honestly, keep it up. Keep up the good work. Any new stuff will be most definitely loving to have you. M-Arts, thank you very much.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you for having me on. Appreciate that. Yeah. Take care.
Honestly, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Take care, brother. Thank you.
Okay, you too.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was M-Arts, a great talent out there. And it just shows you, again, we've had many talented people doing the spoken word, touch and whatnot. If you have any form of music out there, any form of art, do send it over to the Entertainment Corner, and it will be our pleasure to play that for you. Okay, I did say we are going to go international. Before we do, let's just go to a short break. Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Entertainment Corner with me, Anthony Jordan. Right, first of all, just for anyone with it was passion, but we do apologize for any language that was caught there that may have offended. Right, okay, it's time now to head over for a bit of island spice. We had a bit of Guyana, but now we're talking about the Cayman Islands and a very, very talented individual here, the one, the only, Mr. Notch. How you doing, sir?
Good, my brother.
Good. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Lifestyle Show.
Absolutely, right. Pleasure's mine, man.
No, thank you so much. So again, here we go. This is something new, because I mean, we embrace music from all over the world, but it's not often we get to say someone from the Cayman Islands. So this is great for us to have someone of your caliber up here with us today.
And I will not be the last, I promise.
Oh no, for sure. You know, with all that you do, I can see a great connection building here. So
absolutely, the synergy's just begun, man.
Oh, for sure. I'm excited at what's to come from this one. So let's start off first as Mr. Notch, the artist and the musician. How did that career first start?
Mr. Notch started singing really early. The title Mr. Notch kind of came up just as a boyhood nickname, really, from my peers in the juveniles. I had a childhood band that was a recording band, not just a performing band commercially, but we actually recorded a pretty big album in the 1980s, and it just took off from there, you know.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And with this one, there are so many talents that you, as well as the Juveniles, worked with. We're talking the likes of Sanchez, Beres Hammond. What was that experience like as a band who's come together and then working with such legendary artists in the game?
It was everything that you could dream of, and then it was also like education. You know, it was kind of like you were in school for entertainment. Yeah, because you would hear these artists on the radio, and then everybody would be jamming to a certain artist, and then you go to rehearsal and you'd hear, well, they're coming to the island and you're going to back them up, you know, or you're going to open for them. So a lot of the times it was not just that we would open, but we would actually open and be the backing band for the headliner, so to speak.
I hear that.
Yeah,
so
man.
from doing that, being part of the Juveniles, doing the backing artists and having that, Sweet Effects came along and you became the lead vocalist. What gave you the energy to say, you know what, we've done this part, but it's now time for the world to hear my voice as the artist? When did that come about?
Well, that's always been there. I've always been the front man in every band, pretty much, even in the Juveniles. The Juveniles were like your musical youth in the UK. We actually played our instruments and performed and sang, not kind of like the New Edition, who were just the singers and not players of instruments, you know.
Yeah.
So I've always been the front man, kind of I've always been the stage personality, so to speak. Yeah.
But do you know what? That's what it's about. It's about having that's real passion for music. If we're honest, you know, it's not just vocalizing it, but it's creating it, playing it, giving people that extra taste, creating the music. In terms of creating that music, though, which instruments did you gravitate to for yourself? What gave you the inspiration to pick up that instrument and hone your skills?
Well, personally, I really only just scratched around the guitar, you know, but you know, being in a boy band, you kind of experiment with all instruments, kind of like competitively. So I'm pretty well versed on. Well, I have a working knowledge, so to speak, of most instruments, but I wouldn't claim to be a drummer or anything of the sort just because I can tap a few beats, you know. But but it is very important that you gravitate toward an instrument. Absolutely, that is majorly important. I would definitely recommend that for anybody that is thinking about getting into the entertainment field, you know.
Yeah, and growing up, I mean, you know, the Juvenile started off very young, and it's in the name. Who were some of your influences, though, that inspired you to want to become a musician and an artist?
Originally, I'd have to say my father. You know, he was a really popular singer on Ireland. He comes from Belize in Central America. But him and all of his brothers were really musically talented. They come from a little village called Rancho in Central America, and all of his brothers have continued on and continued to play music. So I was really influenced by them. They were really good singers and players of instruments, and it was just natural. I grew up around it, you know.
Yeah.
But my father's music collection was really vast. So it really lent itself to me appreciating a lot of different music styles early on in life, and really locking into the lyrics and what words meant and how to tell a story and how to convey expression through the words and through the melodies, you know. So I'd really have to give props off to my dad, you know. But definitely he listened to some of the greats, Sam Cooke, Neil Diamond. In his style, his taste was really varied. The Mighty Sparrow, Bob Marley, obviously, Dennis Emmanuel Brown is one of my favorite vocalists. Bunny Ruggs from Third World, just so many. He was just a great lover of music. He is a great lover of music, and so am I. Yeah,
that's good. And you know what? You can feel that passion. I think it helps when it's so close. It's generation.
No.
It's in the blood. It's in the blood. And that makes it what it is.
It's in the genes.
That's the one. That is the one. So, I mean, we are going to be playing K Mankind a bit later on, but I mean, one of the big tracks that's out there that a lot of people would have heard of at the moment from yourself is Black My Story. You know, that big thing, again, very powerful for Black History Month and going on. It's something to give us that inspiration. What gave you the inspiration to write that and come along with that track?
Black My Story really came about. It was really a divine interjection, you know, and inspiration. I don't know why I had this epiphany to do a show in Jamaica. I'd been doing shows in the Cayman Islands a lot. I'd been importing the top reggae acts and actually putting on major concerts in Cayman. And I was working with a friend of mine, and I just decided he was more of an investor for this one. And I just said, we need to do a show in Jamaica in the Hills and call it Black My Story and do it in Black History Month. At that time, Jamaica never really celebrated Black History Month a lot. It was more a celebration for the United States. And it started to grow now, like where it's everywhere. But yeah, so we did the show in Jamaica. It went off really well. And while I was there, I came up with the hook for the song. And from there, I would say that it was just world events that kind of let the rest unfold, you know, watching the TV and being disgusted with what was happening in America at the time with the way that the Black brethren we were being treated over there, you know.
Yeah.
They were really being treated abhorrently. I mean, it was just sad to see that after so much time and so much effort and so much energy and blood, sweat, and tears, and that we were still there at this level of subjugation, you know, and disrespect. And so I'm always someone who reads a lot, being a Rastafari, and I try to cling a lot to the Bible mostly, and definitely to the teachings of people like Marcus Messiah Garvey, who have a worldview. And something about one of the utterances of Marcus just stuck with me. And a guitar player of mine, he sent me over a clip with someone verbalizing the utterances. And as I heard the utterances being verbalized in the way that it was, I just put it all together, man. And in no time, the lyrics just flowed and everything was like on point. The melody stuck, it was all good. And what's interesting about Black My Story is that it's not a racist song. I mean, if you didn't listen to the lyrics, you'd think that I was a black racist, I guess, if there's such a thing. But it's really talking just about the Black journey to freedom and equality. And it resolves itself by saying that the only way for us to really achieve that is through a unity with other people, unity with ourselves as Black people, and everybody just struggling to accomplish the one goal, which is to do away with racism, do away with the bigotry, do away with the discrimination, and just treat each other as equals.
Most definitely. And it's that passion that you have given that has given you the award that you have been recognized for in terms of the music, the National Gold Heritage Award. How did it feel receiving that award?
That was something else. That was really unexpected. The Cayman National Cultural Society, Cultural Foundation was who awarded that. And previously, we didn't really have a good relationship with the Music Association and the Cultural Society, you know? It was one of those things that there were definitely, there were holes in the relationship that just needed to be fixed. And I was just doing what I thought needed to be done. And it was really good to see that they came up and actually acknowledged those efforts and said, look, this is the direction to go. And it was like an endorsement, you know, to say, well, this is how we need to be handling this. Let's just follow on this same trajectory. So it was really something. It really is something I'm very pleased about and very proud of. I was also awarded in our country the gold medal of merit, which is a national award, which is just as dear to me. So Yeah, you know.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Right.
Yeah,
So we've heard about the artist that is Mr. Notch. What we're going to do right now, I'll give you the platform to introduce this. We've got K Mankind, as we mentioned earlier. If you can introduce that video, we'll talk a bit about that and the other ventures that you get up to.
All right. K Mankind. K Mankind is what the Cayman Islands are known for. A special treatment of humanity, that equality that I'm talking about. You know, where I come from, we represent there's over 132 nations that are represented here. And we all live in harmony. And I think it's just a snapshot of the way that the world should be. I'm not saying that there aren't problems, but definitely we're working on resolving those daily. And when you live in paradise, it's really easy to find a tranquility. And I think that it lends itself to what the song is all about, which is just about a oneness and a unity. It came about because the Department of Tourism was looking for something to market the Cayman Islands. And at the time, they were considering using a country song, because one of our biggest markets for the Cayman Islands is the United States, the southern United States, particularly because of their close proximity geographically.
Yeah.
And as a president, I just stood up and said, no, that can't work. You know, we have to use something that identifies us more culturally. So I just took what was really a country song and turned it into a reggae production. And it really came out well. I used the top musicians on island, and it definitely is a work that I'm proud of. And I think the whole country is proud of it as well.
Perfect. So you know what, without further ado, let's have a look. K Mankind by Mr. Notch. Enjoy.
Red light.
Smiling, another clear blue perfect day. A warm breeze from the ocean blows your troubles away.
Love it, love it, love it. That gives a nice vibe. That's a nice tropical vibe. Gives people. It does its job. It does its job.
For real, my brother.
Come again, yeah. No, I love it all. So we talked about the other side of Mr. Notch. We've got the artist, but now let's talk about, as you've mentioned here, as the president of the CMEA. Tell us more about what the CMEA is, and your part in it, and what you do.
Yeah. CMEA. CMEA is the Cayman Music and Entertainment Association, and pretty much it was created when I was in the juveniles to protect local musicians on the local entertainment scene, which was at that time the hotel circuit was being overtaken with the importation of foreign musicians. So originally it started kind of as a workman's union or an entertainment union, so to speak. And that was kind of the purpose behind it. But when I was growing up, Cayman was just starting then to get recording artists who were thinking about going international. Memory of Justice, my predecessors of the successors of the juveniles, Tabia, my brethren, myself, so many more artists that are coming after me. So it was so important for the Music Association to grow in its scope as well. But it took someone who actually was experienced in it, as they say in the Caribbean, who feels it knows it. So you really have to be in a position where you know what's needed before you could actually implement those things. So I happened to hear about a bunch of musicians who wanted to actually leave the association, of which I was a part of from the time I was a kid. And they invited me to it to basically say, well, look, we're not happy and we're going to branch off and do our own thing. And I was there to just preach the same message that I'm preaching in Black My Story, which is, look, we're stronger together, man. You know, it's unity. It's unity that we need. It's unity that we want. So let's just figure out what it is that we need individually, and let's go and get it. Amen. So absolutely, man. And it was just at that time that we were having an AGM. So I went to the AGM thinking that I was just going to go there to cast a vote, and instead I was nominated to be the president. And 12 years later, I'm still the president. But yeah, but I mean, it obviously shows that we're doing something right. And now there's a new generation that seems to want to take over, and all the work's been done, and they can see the glamour and the glitter of it. So everybody wants to be the president all of a sudden.
It does. I'm sure.
Yeah, but I'm fine with that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm good. Just as long as I get to finish what it is that we've started, which is to basically put the Cayman music scene on the world stage. And we're actually at the precipice of doing that right now with the website that's coming, that's sponsored by the Department of Tourism. So it's by the Music Association working together with other local entities and partners and corporate entities. And there's not a lot of corporate partnership to say, but definitely governmental support is there now. And we've gotten them to realize that, like right now, I'm here. This is all about Mr. Notch, but I'm talking about the Cayman Islands, you know?
Oh, this is what I was going to say.
That's what I'm saying. So here it is. This is proof of the pudding. I'm a reggae ambassador. You know what I'm saying? And I've been shouting that for 20 years, 30 years, and people saying, reggae ambassador, what are you talking about? You know, but what I'm talking about is what I'm talking about. You dig? So, you know, it's real, you know? And that's why I'm here, you know, representing that.
No, we will most definitely be revisiting that. And as you said at the top of it, there's a synergy building. We will be seeing a lot more of the Cayman Islands on the Entertainment Corner.
You will.
Thank you so much. Just before you do go, can we get your contact details for anyone who wants to get in contact with yourself?
Absolutely, man. You know, I haven't really spent a lot of time working on my social media presence, as you guys can see, because I'm old school, you know. But if you guys can help me out with that, I'd really appreciate it. So hook me up, link me up, Mr. Notch on Instagram and on Facebook. That's mr.notch, yeah? Mr. Notch.
Perfect.
Facebook, Instagram.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. We will catch up again. When this whole lockdown's over, we'll have you in the studio. But until then, thank you very much, and we will catch up soon.
Pleasure's my mind, my brother. Bless.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Have a
Thank
great
you
day.
very much, gentlemen. That was Mr. Notch, a great sound from the Cayman Islands, and do look out for more from Mr. Notch and the rest of the Cayman Islands. Right now, it's time to bring back the one and only Miss Pam Joseph. You're muted, Pam. You're muted.
Anthony's face, and I start talking immediately. Mr. Notch, loving it, loving the name.
Indeed.
Notch.
Yeah, some big stuff there.
Yeah, it's wonderful. You've had two great artists, mate, today.
Thank you very much.
And you know my guy's so deep. The first, when you heard you hear the words, and you see what he's talking about. This is deep. This is meaningful. It was like, wow.
Yeah.
Anthony, this is what we need right now. We need people to recognize, and we're going forward, and we always have done. All this racism, 400 years of it, we're still going on. We're still licking it we're getting there. We're doing it. It might be slow, but here's a big one. We might have our first female president, and she's going to be black, and she goes by the name of Harris, Kamala Harris.
Got a bit of a Bond notch there, but yeah, no, I love that. Do you know what? We've got some great stuff. The world has seen a change, and right now that is what we really need, because it's been a very awkward 2020. So you know what? Let that be the one. Let that be the one. So
yeah, we're going to have a lot of time, so we're not going to really be able to give out all the details with the comp winners of last week. We can do that next week as well, but we'll do a few questions with what we're dealing with now. So can I ask the first question? I'm going to ask the first question for Hamper Dalgety Teas.
Go for it. Whoop, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Lovely, lovely hamper. You've got to be excited by that. And
what is the name of President-elect's running mate, Vice President? What's the name?
And that was easy.
I'll give you a clue. She's female.
The name was just said. Lifestyle on Ben at hotmail.co.uk, and that fantastic Dalgety Teas hamper will be yours to take. Right, okay. So we do have, what other prize do we have to give away, Pam?
Arif Ali selection of books from Hansard Publications. We can choose it, not necessarily this one. This is a winner already from last week, Jamaica Absolutely, but he's got a selection. He just tells us, tell us what you want, and we're going to do that. So selection, if you want Jamaica Absolutely, say that to us. If you're the winner, tell us that, and then we'll give you that. Yeah, okay. And we've still got Tamara's from Rehab too.
Indeed we do. So for the Hansard one, because we had Jamaica Absolutely, I'm gonna be a bit evil. I want two answers on this one. I had Emmart and I had Mr. Notch. What island did Mr. Notch come from and represent, and what island was George filmed in? There you go, 2 islands. That's what I want. I want the name of those 2 islands. Lifestyle on Ben at hotmail.co.uk.
Yeah, you're not easy, but then again, they should have been listening.
There you go.
Yeah, we're listening. It's all good. We got to say to everyone, we're rushing it now. We're going to say, if family, friends have missed today's show live here on YouTube, they can catch us again. This is on the Sky platform, 458 BEN TV, Bright Entertainment Network television. Yeah? So you can get us on there, 458. It's Friday from 10 a.m. till 12 noon, and it is the following Monday as well from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Catch us there.
That's the one. And always, guys, if you are online, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Without you, there is no us. So we do appreciate you all. Okay, guys, we are going to leave it with last week's guest, Mr. Tony Yaz, and we're going to end with tomorrow as our video for the week. So have a good one. I'll see you later. I'm out.
I salute you, American style.
That's the one. Okay, guys.
Where it's going, yeah. Where we go, we don't know it yet. No. How we go, we don't know it yet. No. But all we know is we're going. Yeah. We go see what's in the under. We go see what's in the under. Make we see what's in the under. Go see what's in the under. praying